Hey guys, it's Narky Lisa, and today I am going to talk about Rotten Tomatoes. No, not these Rotten Tomatoes. The company Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is a movie aggregating company. This means they collect a bunch of critic reviews from the internet of films and average them out to see if a movie's ratings tend towards the positive or the negative. I'm using the word average very loosely because what Rotten Tomatoes does isn't really averaging in the strict technical mathematical sense. Rotten Tomatoes is often looked to as a source for moviegoers to decide if they should go to watch a movie or not, but it's also attracted quite a lot of criticism as well. Why has it? And how do they really work? Today, I am going over just that. Also, if you like this kind of content, analysis, reviews, don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. It will really help the algorithm find my channel. Now, let's get into things. How does Rotten Tomatoes really work? Rotten Tomatoes runs on a system where movie reviews are either, oh, this movie was good, or oh, this movie was bad. Now, movie reviews tend to be often a lot more nuanced than that. Maybe they're just like, oh, this movie was good in some aspects, but then, oh, what was with the visual effects? Or, oh, I loved the visual effects, and the story could have worked, but it flopped in some areas, and also, what is the script? The thing with Rotten Tomatoes as a website, though, is that it has no time for such nuance. You're either giving a movie an A+ or an F-, even if the truth is somewhere in between. This can become a problem when there's a movie that gets lukewarm reviews overall. However, Rotten Tomatoes decides to give the movie like a 90-something% or maybe even 100%, even though the reviews aren't really A+, just because they gave the movie a passing grade. This can also happen vice versa with movies that don't tend to be perceived as horrible and terrible, but tend to be perceived as like mediocre, so like just below the passing grade of maybe 50% in the reviewer's eyes. But because of the binary, it's either all good or all bad that Rotten Tomatoes runs on, a movie just gets like a very low average on Rotten Tomatoes. But the second phenomenon I mentioned happens to some more campy or cliche or romance movies that don't really have such a terrible quality, but because critics tend to consider those like mediocre, just below passing grade, they get these awful Rotten Tomato averages. Really, just a little. Rotten Tomatoes has a serious issue with being able to tolerate nuance. Like, I get that some systems that reviewers use aren't easy to assign a percentage grade that is often required for aggregating. However, teachers have converted A's and F's to number grades for years now. Why can't Rotten Tomatoes do that? And the worst part, Rotten Tomatoes issues do not stop here. Oh boy, I have quite some issues to get into. Which brings me to my next point. Rotten Tomatoes and corruption. Filmmakers want their movies to get good reviews. That's how they end up making money, since, believe it or not, audiences do somewhat care about the reviews, even if maybe not as much as the critics do. Critics are supposed to judge movies by, well, their quality in their eyes, at the very least. Not based on external factors like if they're going to get extra money if they review positively. Well, some movie makers have not taken the memo. Indeed, a semi-recent investigation as of this writing and scripting and video making has found that not one, not two, but several filmmakers have bribed movie reviews into reviewing positively via giving them early movie tickets for free. Rotten Tomatoes, like many companies, was kinda on this. Like, they did try to take some action, but in the end, apparently they just were like practice in the industry to like give free movie tickets to people reviewing movies in exchange for, well, your movie getting a higher score on our website. Oh yeah, that's my second issue with Rotten Tomatoes. What else do I have to say about Rotten Tomatoes now? Honestly, I do believe that averaging out movie reviews is a great way to help viewers determine whether to see a movie or not. Viewers, like the rest of us, have different tastes. It shouldn't be up to one or a few to determine whether, hey, this movie is critically acclaimed or not. However, the way Rotten Tomatoes does this leaves a lot to be desired. Anyways, that's it for today. I might do a Taylor Swift cover next. Until then, take care everyone. Snarky Lisa out.